We have Cannon and Axe going up against Spear and Lance.
Yes, and because it's a Stingray set, we're going to be having plenty of platform stages. Back when Crystal Temple was a stage that you could still lock in, which was another dual plat, Stingray only played on Crystal Temple, basically. His favorite stages to play on are here, and I think he's one of the players that likes dash landing the most as a player as well. So let's see if he's able to utilize it here against TruckStop in game number 1. As we've got Stingray playing against basically he made playing the Black Knight like a popular thing with his original top 8 run, and now he's playing against it here in game number 1. That's pretty cool to see.
You know, the movement, the dash landing, it actually lets you just be that much more explosive with Cannon. It lets you just completely increase your boost distance. You have to like step back even more than you normally would. We're seeing TruckStop go through the down air off stage, reposition, the reverse neutral air, and into the recovery as well, looking for that side air finisher just in case Stingray fell into it.
Yeah. Ooh. Silent air recovery is going to take him off there, and then Stingray was like, had this much damage on TruckStop from the very beginning and then just put out a bunch of down sigs and ground pounds. TruckStop fell for none of them, and then he just stole the lead away, and now Stingray's having difficulty. Okay, there. Dashes forward, gets the Sair. Goes without, I guess it doesn't go without saying, I'll just bring it up. Zol, highest force legend in the game with that base 9 force. It's like a truck. Even against TruckStopBurrito, right? It has the word in his name. So here we go, 2 stocks to 2. Let's see what he can do.
Right now, whiffing that on the landing, but still able to pop out another down air. Stingray not able to punish anything too huge. That is so much knockback.
Yeah.
Look at the amount of damage that TruckStop has. That did how much?
Yeah, well, I don't know how to quantify how much knockback it was, but it was a lot. Yeah, and almost knocked him out on his own there. Voids the down tick just by jumping over it. Let's see if he can find a side air here to get the edge guard. I don't think it will knock out on its own just yet, but that downlight tax on quite a bit. And that neutral signature, one of the most deceptively high-reaching axe signatures in the game.
Right now, Stingray just looking for a way to punish TruckStop's high recovery. Was able to do so. Has him off stage, and now what is the play here? Tosses down the weapon. Not what I expected, but it didn't actually result too much. And now TruckStop has no weapon at all.
Right? You get that damage in there. D-like ground pound. It was because of the weapon throw that worked.
Yeah, I guess you're technically right, even though I don't like to admit it. I guess, you know what, sure, Stingray was able to get that
Wow, I can't believe you gave that to me. I was just, okay, whatever. Anyways, back to this, 2-1. Falls to the down air. Voids the down signature. TruckStop does get that side air, catches Stingray in the middle of the sky, but I feel like I would give this to Stingray's favor just a little bit right now just because of how quickly he's been able to rack up damage, but I don't know. It's a very close game 1. It could go either way.
TruckStop feels more likely to take a stock from a single advantage take, whereas Stingray is a little bit more consistent in how early he is able to actually get the KO here. So it's kind of up to TruckStop. Can you get an extended string? Well, you got that neutral light. You chase dodge in there, neutral air to cover a perhaps delayed landing attempt from Stingray. Gets so many hits in. Look at that damage.
Oh, almost went for the ground pound nair. Puts to the end sig. Does TruckStop go into it? No, he waits it out. The move's an anti-air, but if you charge it, it ends up being a bear trap that covers the ground. Oh, the ground pound calling out the dodge up, and then he had to use Cannon Sair to get back to the stage. Amazing patience coming out from TruckStop, and he takes game 1 over Stingray.
I wish we could talk about the positional pressure in that last stock to be able to force that low recovery, but they immediately went for the bans, and so once again, we can't actually go for
that replay just doesn't exist. They're just going to go through the motions here. Oh, what was this again? Oh, yeah, the D-Light ground pound. That's right. Couldn't include the weapon throw because it happened 30 seconds earlier and wasn't actually related.
Going into game number 2 here. TruckStop actually kind of snatching away game 1 in a way that Stingray did not necessarily expect.
Yeah, it was back and forth, and it all ended up being TruckStop having some really great punishes off of Stingray's positioning. I mean, he got the sidelight nair recovery, which is just a fantastic lance string. And then that ground pound was actually very Cannon-specific in how he punished it. And Stingray not looking too happy about the result of that last game. He hasn't even been touched yet. That Endlight's the first amount of damage that he's going to take.
Yeah, well, took a little bit of damage there, but then was able to take the stock off the side.
I was finishing my sentence.
And you know what? Basically unscathed going into this next stock.
Yes, right, basically. Hit a side light, doesn't get the nair afterwards. Nice neutral light. Wow, Stingray, what is happening? Sidelight, nair, ground pound. Oh, that Sair would have just actually taken the stock. He can't be touched. What happened between game 1 and game 2,
That was a fantastic idea. I think Stingray has just warmed up. And now getting a couple of down airs here. This is sort of the stuff that we expect from Lance. I like the idea with the ground pound. It goes essentially unpunished for it. Oh, that D-Light did not connect. Okay, cool.
Wow, TruckStop starting to answer back a little bit here. Still hasn't brought the damage back in a way that matters. N-Light could get him close to being able to get a knockout. The D-Light slaps Lance right out of his hands. Weapon throw straight down to pick up the... Oh, the very end of the down sig. He slides it forward to make the range even larger than it already is.
Impeccable spacing.
Wow, that was really nice. He was using it as an edge guard tool, but to use it in a center stage like that was just very much catching TruckStop off guard.
Yeah, right now, Stingray just looking for another opening kill. You have such a comfortable lead at this point. You can start, you know, throwing out buttons, and TruckStop has a lot to make up for. He looks for the juggle, not able to actually close it out. The recovery still does not do it. The weapon toss just, you know what, you keep him landing from for another second.
Oh, and that dash jump side air will take one stock from Stingray in game number 2. I don't want to call it too early, but Stingray this time around on West Air Temple has been a lot better. TruckStop getting the string started though, however.
Okay, actually going to be missing that attempt to catch TruckStop on the way back down here. Looking for a nice little opening, perhaps. Just dodges in there. That was so aggressive. Stingray going to find that spike.
Is it D-Light air? I wonder what. Was it because he was too close to the side of the stage? I feel like D-Light air just would have knocked out. Either way, side air will get it done. Stingray destroys TruckStopBurrito in game 2, and I wonder if he'll let him go back to Western Air Temple after that.
I have just begun to understand how scary it is to fight against Zol, specifically against Stingray Zol, because it's like, oh wow, my stocks are actually prone to exploding at any given moment, and I lose that many fewer neutral exchanges, and I'm still taking that much more damage.
Yeah, and he's even dipping out of force to get 5 movement speed there, and so
he doesn't need it. It's just
it's not even the most damaging Zol that it could possibly be.
That would have been so funny, though. But there's a couple of moments where I feel like some Axe Neutralites just didn't KO, and I wondered if that would have made a difference.
I think the movement speed that Stingray is getting from 4 to 5 is benefiting him a lot more, though. And in those cases, it's just kind of like, okay, if I have to get one more hit in a game where I'm two-stocking my opponent anyways, the force would just be wasted. And so now, TruckStopBurrito, after that loss in Orion, switches over to Macho Man, epic crossover for Olgrim, and so it's going to be Lance and Axe fighting against Stingray's Axe and Cannon going into game 3.
Yeah. God, I love min-maxing, like the stats that you sort of put into your character. It's so much fun just being like, yeah, I'm going to have just excess force when I don't even need it at all. But that being said, Stingray whiffing that Neutralite, just going to give TruckStop a nice little opening to get in here. Catches that jump with the side air. Okay, setting up a bit of a juggle. Ooh. And so many hits coming out.
Oh, down air takes the weapon out of his hands. D-Light recovery only takes him off the top of the stage. And that dare will catch TruckStop drifting. I think he can dodge back technically, but Stingray got the easiest edge guard in the world there, and he gets the down air. Yeah, Stingray doing a great job with the blast from Cannon, which like kind of reaches above where the opening of the blast is going to be, and Stingray just used that very nicely.
TruckStop is looking a little bit lost here now. Stingray is just pushing his advantage as far as he possibly could. He is dealing so much damage, and TruckStop now just needs any way to be able to close here. Love that little bit of a weapon toss, just breaking the space and catching TruckStop off guard. Yeah,
it's just every time just watching like an axe fly at somebody's face and it bounces off and they catch it again and they just stand there being like, what happened to me? It's pretty funny optically. Stingray goes in forward with that side air.
North America and weapon tosses.
Very common. Yeah. Stingray doing it better than most of the players that we've seen so far, because I think some players just kind of like do it out of habit, and Stingray is like actually trying to change a specific part of neutral game state to extend his advantage. And every time that he gets it, you see how much damage he gets off of it. We're in this 2-stock-to-1 scenario once again.
Yeah, TruckStop has a lot to make back. I don't even necessarily have like an immediate solution off the top of my head, other than like a lot of those extended strings that we saw in game 1 are not necessarily as present this time around.
Right, D-Light into Dare, not leading into the N-Light, but it was the right idea. Waits out all TruckStop's dodges. All of his movement, Stingray's just completely on top of him. Finally finds one N-Light, goes for the D-Light, doesn't get punished for it, doesn't matter. Switches back over to Axe.
Stingray just looks unhittable sometimes. Like, the way that he is moving and so efficiently, especially, like, using cannon siding. I mean, TruckStop is struggling to get any hits in at all here. Setting up an edge guard, tossing out the Axe as well, shoving him a little bit further down. The down and horizontal hitbox doesn't actually connect, and goes through that side tick again, just to be a little bit cheeky.
Yeah, weapon throw off the side of the stage. N-Light would definitely do it. I mean, anything would do it here. The down tick keeps coming through. And, okay, just put out N-Sig and just hold it on the ground. What are you going to do? There you go. Dash jump pivots there. That gets the 2-stock there. TruckStopBurrito is more than a little bit lost now. You mentioned that at the middle of that game, and I would say that he's just fully Fully just doesn't know where the heck he's at.
Disadvantage, neutral, coming back onto the stage. There's a lot, right? There's a lot of different like adjustments that you have to make here, and it seemed like Stingray like actually just really warmed up after game 1.
Yeah, Stingray lost game 1 when I didn't have to lose that way, and now TruckStopBurrito is like desperately searching for an answer. As he switches over to the Roland, it seems like the one common thread here seems to be the Lance. And if we want to be like very stat-minded on why this counter pick works, it's like, well, this is the highest defense Lance legend that you can play. So maybe he'll survive longer.
Just a little bit longer, right? And if that's just one more stock that you have to play with on the stage before you inevitably meet your demise, it could help. But right now, TruckStop getting hits in. That's what I want to see.
This is a funny matchup, too, because they both have the same kind of down sig. Like Roland, down sigs, 3 swords come out of the ground. Zol, down sigs, 3 blasts come out of the ground. I hope they do it at the same time. That'd be pretty amusing. He has to be on sword, though, and TruckStop doesn't seem like he wants to play anything other than Lance.
Yeah, TruckStop is a Lance player through and through. Stingray just comfortable on both weapons. And yeah, that's the side to take it off the right blast.
Who did TruckStop upset to get this far again? Fakey. Okay. That was an impressive win. But I'm looking at TruckStop versus Stingray, and I'm like, wow, Stingray is so good at this game.
Yeah, Stingray is shutting him down. Honestly, like everything that he's going for, all these different call-outs, just winning all these different exchanges.
The tournament this week.
The way that he's playing?
Yeah, this is, I don't think anybody else, and I think the only other player in North America that can play Axe as good as Stingray is playing right now is Luna, and Luna hasn't been playing Axe for a while. Oh, down to catches TruckStop just in the air. Side air catches him in the recovery. Stingray's taking like 80 damage.
Yeah, there's nothing that you can really do if you TruckStop. I mean, you can make a million adaptations right now, and it's just looking so difficult here. You have Lance on hand, you have your comfort weapon, but will it actually do anything here? You don't get the jump call-up that you were looking for with the Cider. Stingray gets out of that situation entirely, and is just with punishing TruckStop over and over and over again.
Yeah, TruckStop finds, okay, there we go. Gets the knockout off the left side of the stage. That's 1. Although I feel like I've watched 3 games in a row now where this game state's been the same, and I'm still like, all right, Stingray's going to pick up action, he's going to hit him 5 times and then stare him off of a jump or something.
TruckStop is pressing for this all the time, and Stingray is just playing second beat, just saying, okay, you're going to whiff this because you're not hitting where I'm going, and I'm going to descend on top of you and get my next hit in.
Dare, nair, sidelight, nair, goes for the side air. TruckStop dodges once, but can he dodge again?
A lot of TruckStop commitments are just like really unsafe, and Stingray is just such in a good position just to be able to call him out on it every time.
Oh, Endlight doesn't hit. Cider will take him down. Stingray makes it a quick 3-1. And that's like, it's rare that I see a 3-1 where there's like game win on the board, and I still think that was a stomp. Like I was like, okay, game 1 happened, and Stingray like blinked and was kind of like, oh, like he literally may have been playing with his eyes closed. Like that was so.